So, ladies and gentlemen, very recently I uploaded a video titled IronMouse versus Silvervale, Who Was in the Wrong? And in that video, to summarize it very quickly, I talked about the Hogwarts Legacy situation that took place a while back, and it was basically where Silvervale came out and said that she was a fan of Harry Potter and wanted to play Hogwarts Legacy, and for this, a group of mentally ill, degenerate freaks on the internet tried to ruin her life and career and reputation, doxed her, contacted her family. It was absolute insanity and pandemonium. It was just nuts. And I don't think that people can really appreciate the gravity of that. I mean, I know that people can empathize to some degree, but when that's really happening to you, when you have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people coming after you relentlessly every day, and you even have people within your own company or within your own industry, VTubing, coming after you the way that Fruit did, which that's going to be a video in and of itself. I've had so many people email me information about this Fruit character that I have to do my research to find out what's real and what's not. Because if this is true, I don't know how this person is allowed to continue just with impunity, and no no one calls this person out for this stuff. I mean, oh my gosh. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's for another video. I'm sure I'll do one, Fruit versus Silvervale or something. But people sent me comments saying, no, 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 you're being a little bit too hard on Iron Mouse in your video. Iron Mouse did defend Silvervale. When I saw that, I said, oh, okay, maybe I missed something. That was my first thought. Okay, maybe I missed something. I'm open-minded. I'm open to change my mind. If it was the case that Iron Mouse had made a video and said, look guys, my friend Silvervale is being mercilessly harassed on the internet, I condemn that wholeheartedly. I'm going to have them on my show. We're going to have a unified front. You don't come after one of our own. She can play whatever game she wants. Like, if she comes out and does a full-throated endorsement and has her back, I would say, all right, I'm wrong, and I would eat my words. That is not the case. The video that people sent me, which is supposed to be Iron Mouse defending Silvervale, I can't even paraphrase it. I have to let you listen to it in its own words so that you can truly understand my issue with it. So without further ado, this is a video titled Iron Mouse Talks About the Stuff That Is Happening with Silvervale. Okay?
What I have to say, because I've been processing and digesting stuff that's been going on these past few days, and here's what I have to say. I think that everybody is entitled to their opinion, and I think that everybody is entitled to support whatever they want to support. And you know what? That's on you, whatever you want to support. However, I believe that no one deserves to be harassed, and no one deserves to be attacked, and no one deserves to be bullied, and no one deserves to feel threatened. No one deserves to live in fear every day of their life. That is not right. That is not right. And I think there's a lot of positive ways to get a message across without having to make somebody feel bad. Sometimes when I think about things, I think about, is this going to make somebody feel bad? And if I find out that it does, then I don't want to do it. But everybody operates differently and everybody does different things, and that's what makes humans and society so great. That's what makes being alive so great. You have the choice, do whatever the you want to do. All I want to say is, would you want to live in fear every day of your life and be afraid to close your eyes? Would you be afraid? Do you want to be afraid to go to sleep? No. Why would you want to do that to somebody? And that goes to everyone. I think there are ways to support what you want to support in positive ways. Unfortunately, a lot of people feel that unless you do things in a negative way, people aren't gonna respond or nothing's gonna change. Unfortunately, that's how society has raised us. It sucks because that's how we've all been led to believe that niceness doesn't work and meanness does. I just hope that in the future, maybe one day, people are just a little kinder to others. You know what I mean?
All right, let me step in here. That's nearly 2 minutes into a 4-minute video. All right. So, to be honest, my first instinct was all right. My first instinct was to be a little bit meaner than I would otherwise actually want to be, because that was pathetic. She doesn't mention She doesn't mention Silvervale by name once. Doesn't mention the specific situation. She talks in generalities. Nebulous statement. Now, some people have mentioned, well, the Vishojo higher up. I don't care. No, I don't care. I don't care what circumstances you think that there are. If your friend is coming on stream in tears because they're being harassed and vilified by a mob of people on the internet that are calling them a terrible person, and your response is, well, I think that people should be nicer and sort of do what they want, and that you shouldn't live in these nebulous statements. That is not a defense. Do you understand? That's not a defense of somebody. That is the most meaningless, platitudinal, vague, vapid noise. That means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Why on earth, look, some people have speculated maybe IronMouse and Silvervale weren't friends at all. Maybe they were never friends. Maybe they didn't like each other. Even still, people are attacking somebody at your company. As somebody who is at the upper echelon of that company, somebody who is a face of that company, one of the faces, you have a duty and an obligation. Oh, we're going to get into that. Don't worry. Some of the comments from IronMouse fans saying things like, she didn't owe Silvervale anything. It's not about owing. It's not about you owe somebody this. It's about being able to live with yourself. And I got to tell you, I couldn't do it. Even if it's Jim from accounting, and we hate Jim from accounting. If somebody is trying to destroy him, if you got a mob of people who are going to destroy him, we're going to war with Jim. We're going to war with anyone. And the reason is because that's the right thing to do. When you come out with a statement like that is non-committal, meaningless fluff, doesn't mention Silvervale's name once, doesn't mention the specifics of the situation, doesn't condemn the people doing it. Do you understand? That's why I did my video in the first place, because it's frustrating. Because there is zero accountability for that level of cowardice. There's zero accountability. Nobody cares. Nobody calls it out. They would just want to move on. Let me tell you something. That is disgraceful. It's still disgraceful. It's just as disgraceful today as it was back then. You have somebody that is going through not just a casual, normal bit of internet discourse. You have somebody that is being targeted. Somebody who is having game devs, create lists to identify when they go online so that they can help coordinate to bully this person and try to flood their chat with all of their propaganda and left-wing LGBTQ rhetoric. I don't care if the V-Shoujo higher-ups got on the call. If I were in IronMouse's position and like, you can't talk about this, I would talk about it. What are you going to do, fire me? The fact that they allowed that to go on and there was no unified front, there was no coalescing, yeah, I got to tell you, that's terrible. Now, it could be that in the second half of this video, the other 2 minutes, she could be like, well, Silvervale's my friend, and I don't like what you're doing to her, and you guys got to knock it off, and this is disgraceful. But that's not what it is. That's not what it is. That's not what it's going to be. Because obviously there are other priorities. Obviously, for IronMouse, there are things that are more important than your team, your La Familia. There are things that are more important. Money, attention, fame, being in good with the higher ups of a company. I don't know what it is. I don't know her personally. But I got to tell you, wouldn't be me. Would not be me. If I saw that somebody who was at least an acquaintance of mine was coming on stream and just crying, sobbing because of what they had to go through because they wanted to play Hogwarts Legacy, that would be one of the few times where you could go on there and go scorched earth. But I think the reason why it irritated me so much is because people were sending it to me saying, no, you don't understand. IronMouse defended Silvervale. She spoke out in support of her. That's not what that was. Now, if people have other clips or something, I'm still open to looking at it. But I gotta tell you, this makes a terrible case. That's not great. So anyway, I want to. I'm not going to play the rest of that clip because I'm pretty confident that the rest of it is not going to be a reversal of the first 2 minutes. But I am going to go over some of the comments that I got in this video. So here we have a comment. Yes, I can even remember that Lost Paws was siding with IronMouse in a way. I'm still willing to be her friend. Interesting. If they are in an agency, contract or no, they will always side with their boss. It's a shame so many good streamers go to Vishojo, ex-Niji mostly. But they did the same thing with Nox as well. I don't know who Nox is. Piled on top of him and made him leave Vishojo. The only company that seemed good, at least on the outside, is FaZe Connect. Still rather all those VTubers were indie. But Sakana, I don't know who that is, seems to give them pretty good free. Sakana. Now that I think about it, the name does sound kind of familiar. Pretty good freedom and lets them do their own content with their own options. However, his goal is still to make money. Glad to see people are still talking about this stuff. A lot of people seem to give VTubers a pass or forget these things happen altogether. Sorry this was a bit off topic. No, you're fine. That was a perfectly legit comment. Here we've got somebody saying being ill is not an excuse. But I get that IronMouse would not have the energy to fight that kind of fight. I think IronMouse should have tried to done something about it after the fact. IronMouse was still in the wrong. I agree. And I agree because it's not even that I'm putting the entire onus on IronMouse. No. And I'm not even saying that she was the worst one. We're going to talk about Fruit in another video because, God, the things you're sending me about Fruit, I got to do my research because I'll just give you a little bit. Somebody, and you got to be careful because I know when you talk about stuff like this, there are people that just want to jump in and just start hating on somebody. But man, like something about like a military husband and when that like NTR. I got to do more research on that, but holy criminy, the stuff you guys are sending me is, I didn't ask for it. I certainly didn't ask for it. Oh, here we got another comment about Fruit. Danny, D-A-N-N-I, it says that's, okay. I did not know that. Fruit is an immoral parasite. Her behavior isn't surprising. IronMouse just buried her head in the sand for months beforehand and continued to do so when her friend needed her the most. Vishojo members seem to be duplicitous by nature. Interesting. It's not a surprise about fruit. Man, I'm telling you, out of nowhere, I would just, people do not like fruit for some reason. Considering she scammed a bunch of people out of non-existent merch, I don't know the veracity of these claims. I got to do a little bit more research. She made in her previous career, not to mention, she said she was going to donate money to a trans charity that quote unquote helps children. The Mermaids Foundation. Oh man. That's right. That was the foundation. The charity that trains kids. Oh man. I remembered that she did something like that. I didn't remember the name of the group. Oh man. Yeah, you guys are giving me a lot of information here. Yeah, that's just terrible. Interesting. Yeah, there's some people with some not so nice things to say about IronMouse. I'm not really here for that exactly. I'm just trying to read some of these comments, but there is some animosity for both sides. This one says, "I like Silvervale. What was done to her was terrible. Lucky for us, the woke mob is being purged nowadays from the internet just by memes." That's pretty true. Silvervale got bullied by freaks, and then they got Pikami into Vishojo. Both played Hogwarts Legacy. Actually, I don't think Pikami played Hogwarts Legacy, although I could be totally and completely wrong. I thought she just talked about wanting to play it, but again, I could be completely off there. Both got bullied by the same crowd, but only Silvervale was sold out by her friends. Yeah, it's rough. Last time I checked, Silvervale is not in Vishojo anymore. Correct. Poor Silvervale, so messed up that some idiot can attack her for playing a game. It's just a simple video game, nothing illegal or messed up. Thanks for the video. You're welcome. Honestly, I'm going to say this. Suppose you grew up... that's a paragraph. Suppose you grew up enjoying a book series, and later on that book series gained a game after... Oh boy. Yeah, okay. That's a little too long. I appreciate the comment and the sentiment. I like a lot of the talent in Vishojo, especially Zentreya. But I think Kason said it best when she pointed out that the corpos running Vishojo really dropped the ball when Silvervale, they, and Nanners all left the group in the same week, a short time after the Hogwarts Legacy issue. That is true. Now, I don't know if any of those are, I don't know if all three of those are connected, but yeah, it would seem to make sense if that were the case. Funny that there is a video of IronMouse backing up Silver, though. Wonder why Silver never collabed with any other VTuber. She's a drama queen. Well, I think maybe that was the video that I reacted to, and if that's the video you're talking about, that's not having somebody's back. That's just not. If I gave an opinion that weak-willed and that sort of tepid, like, they're like, okay, what did you think about Rings of Power Season 2? Well, movies and television shows are things that people watch, and people can like and not like the shows that they watch, and sometimes it's like, get to the point, get to the meat and potatoes. It's like, if you're gonna defend somebody, defend them with your whole chest. Put those milk cannons out there and say, this is my friend, stop coming after him, or I'm gonna, I don't know, sick my chihuahua on you. Why are we expecting ethos to have any sort of morals or principles? Interesting. Meanwhile, Mouse did try to defend Silver, but Twitter weirdos kept on going. It was a bad situation that never should have happened to Silver. Agree with that. There's a link to the video that we reacted to. So yet another person mentioning this video. Wow, thanks YouTube for recommending me this. Another bucket list video to listen to later. Thanks. I think. Well, here we have somebody who's critical. Cut out the culture war BS. Just tell us, number one, what Silvervale did. Number two, why people are mad about it. Number three, what IronMouse did in response. Number four, why IronMouse is wrong. This video could have been 3 times shorter. Well, you're free to make your own channel, make your own video, make it however you want. And I think that's incredibly boring, droll, and dull. Also, it doesn't get to the heart of the matter. Also, it completely obfuscates responsibility from the people who did it, which are far-left LGBTQ narcissistic degenerate freak activists on the internet who felt compelled and comfortable harassing a girl for wanting to play Hogwarts Legacy. So, no, I will mention who did it and why and their motivation and all of that. Otherwise, how are we going to learn? Here we have another comment. As Asmongold says, a rat is always a rat. Yeah, I get it. Oh, here we go. IronMouse is under no obligation to be at Silvervale's beck and call. She's a grown woman and is responsible for her own actions. She's just a co-worker, not her boss. So IronMouse doesn't have to do anything. It's also a scummy move to drag people into your mess when they have their own issues going. Yeah, this guy has never had a friend. I guarantee it. This guy has never had. She's under no obligation. I mean, just ridiculous. Oh, here we have a comment. Why do you feel the need to bring up something that happened, something like this that happened over a year ago? Well, glad you asked that. I already answered it, but I'll answer it again because this topic still doesn't have resolution. And by resolution, I don't mean anything to happen to Silvervale or IronMouse or anything, like Silvervale was brought back into VShojo. No. I mean, there's obviously still a lot of confusion. There's obviously still a lot of opinions that I don't think are perfectly informed. And so my job here is just to not let people forget it. Because I don't think they should. I don't think they should forget what happened to Silvervale. I just don't. I think that what happened to her from the LGBT community, these far-left, degenerate, mentally ill, subhuman freaks, I think that it's important to remind people that this is the type of culture that is basically engendered by these people on the left. This is what they do to people. And don't ever let them live it down. Don't ever let them forget it. You constantly remind them of what they did and how terrible they are, and you remind them all the time that you know that they're terrible people. I think that's a pretty good start. I like Silver, or at least I did. I think what happened to her is absolutely effing awful, and the psychos that did it should actually be legally responsible for their creepy, disgusting behavior. Agree with that? But on the other hand, I don't think IronMouse is even slightly at fault. She supported and defended Silver, which she didn't. At least publicly. I mean, if you want to call that a defense, that is really pushing it. It's not like she had a leash on the Twitter hate mob and psychopaths that litter the site. So I really don't see how or why she'd even be singled out. Well, so I think one of the reasons why I picked IronMouse was because I was recommended a video that had to do with IronMouse, and IronMouse made some snarky comment recently that Iron Mouse's audience were like mentioning Silvervale, and it was in a negative connotation. It was sort of like I wouldn't betray my friends like by leaking. It was something along those lines where I heard that and I said, "Wow, that is really messed up." Considering the fact that this person went through what they went through, I think she handled it remarkably well. A lot of people wouldn't be able to handle things as well as Silvervale did, considering what she went through. Iron Mouse has never been through anything even a fraction of what Silvervale went through. Not even one iota of a fraction. Now I'm sure that she's had controversies and stuff. I mean, I've seen some of the TikTok crazies and stuff like that. But that's like sort of like background stuff where people hate on Iron Mouse in the background. This was a full-on, full-blown campaign to destroy this person's reputation that was being supported by fellow VTubers, even in the own company. So to put it in perspective, it would be like Iron Mouse was getting accosted by the LGBT community online, and they were going after her vociferously every day, and then Zentrea came out and doubled down and supported the harassment of Mouse and the vilification and all that stuff. I think that would start to get into the realm of just how messed up this was, and then all of the people that are cursory to the VTuber community either ignored you or they sided with the people against you. Remember Lost Paws, he was mentioned in the comment section. Yeah, he was sort of tepidly going in on it with, with Fruit. Sort of being like playful a little bit. And I'm looking at that going, God, anyway, I've got my own thoughts on that. I've got my own opinions on that. But, it's really disappointing that we're at this point. And Iron Mouse said, well, it's the culture. It's the way we're raised. No, I think that it's been normalized. Mainly because there have been virtually no consequences to it. When you tell people that they can behave as terribly as they want and there are no consequences, and even people like Iron Mouse are not going to say anything and they're going to sort of tiptoe around it, and they may even get support for it, yeah, that's not the best message. I think the solution is very, very clear. I think it's essentially this. You deal with it the same way that you deal with a dog that just pooped on the rug. You grab the dog, you drag it, whether it wants to or not, into the room, and then you put their nose in the shit, and you say no. Now, if you're a little more aggressive, you may get a newspaper and bat the dog on the nose or on the head. I personally couldn't bring myself to do that. But some people can. I think these people online, maybe they're at that point where they need to be backed metaphorically with a newspaper. But you definitely need to definitely need to grab their head and put their nose into their own shit, metaphorically speaking, of course. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the runtime of this video is about to reach 30 minutes. I'm going to cut things off here. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'm glad I got to do a roundup for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I know you will. And on that note, I will bid you guys a good day, and I will see you next time.